Greetings, beloved Princeton United Methodist Church community. It's Pastor Jenny here with an update for you, and I'm reading from Isaiah chapter 35, verses 1 and 2. The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad. The desert shall rejoice and blossom. Like the crocus, it shall blossom abundantly and rejoice with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given to it, the majesty of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord, the majesty of our God. This is the word of life. Thanks be to God. So we are already upon the third week of Advent, and this is the week of joy. This is the week that in worship we light that pink candle along with the first two purple ones. And this is also that point at which, we who are struggling to find joy in the season struggle even more, There is so much joy around in this time of year, but in this time of year, it acts in some ways like a magnifying glass, right? For all those little beautiful things, those joyful things, it all gets bigger and more beautiful. But when we are also experiencing grief or loneliness or sorrow or despair, fear, that can be magnified just as well, if not more, this time of year with all the festivities, all the things, all the expectations that our society, our families, our loved ones, our church, all these people put on us, or we feel put on by this time of year. So joy that is imposed joy is not really joy. See, joy comes out of a freedom, a release, a space that isn't occupied by fear or occupied by oppression. Joy can break through those things. Joy can even speak to them, into them. Joy can even defeat those things at times, but that doesn't guarantee joy. That doesn't mean that we should feel obligated to be joyful. That, I think, is a self-defeating thing and a joy-defeating thing. And I just want to give you permission to be aware of the lack of joy if you have it this season, and to be aware of the kind of ways that joy might be even imposed on us at times. Again, not quite really joy when we're talking about it in that way. So first, I want to just invite you to be aware. Is there joy in your experience right now? And if so, what form is it taking? What does it look like? Where are those little bits of joy or big bits of joy? Maybe you are in a very blissful place right now, and that is all good. But I also want to come back to our passage here, that this idea of the wilderness and the dry land being glad, the desert rejoicing and blossoming, this idea that even in the darkest, deepest places, God is present there. And there can be joyful responses to what God is doing in those places. It doesn't mean that the joy just replaces the desert, right? The desert doesn't become a jungle. It doesn't become a rainforest. It is a desert still, and yet there's something else going on. It's not the only story. It's not all there is in that place. It also speaks to this idea that deserts are actually really full of life in a lot of ways. It's different than in a jungle, right? Or even here in the Northeast. We do not live in a desert, and life looks very different in these places. But even more, this passage is the joy comes from God's presence. The joy comes from seeing the glory of our God. Again, joy imposed is not actually joy, but we can continue to foster joy, to look for joy, to experience joy in the presence of our God, even while we are feeling lonely or despairing or afraid or or unsure or worried, these things can exist together. And so just like we continue to say through Advent, on the one hand, we are holding our need and our longing for God, for God's kingdom, for the coming of Christ. We look to the kingdom coming in its fullness. We look to the second coming, the coming again of Christ. And on the other hand, we are holding God's already abundance. God is already here. Jesus has come. The kingdom of God is in our midst, even if it's just in little bits, even if we can't see it. The kingdom of God is here, and we hold both our need and our longing, the desert, the sorrow, the worry, the fear, all of that, and we hold joy, the abundant joy, the very presence of God that enables us to rejoice, that enables us to sing. So again, even if you're not feeling both of those at the very same time, that is okay. Part of what we are doing is practicing what it is to hold all of this in our hands at once, this already and not yet, this longing as well as the abundance. These things can come together, and this is very much what Advent is both of these things. We don't just push all the need and the longing to the side or behind us. We hold it all together. So in this week where we are looking toward joyful abundance on Sunday and the weeks to come, I invite you to just notice, where is joy already? Where is joy elusive? Where do you struggle with the idea of joy at all? Where is there joy in spite of what our reality is, maybe even in surprising ways? So holding it all together is part of our Advent practice, and I am praying for you as we do this all together. Friends, I invite you to our Christmas pageant on Sunday evening. It's at 5:00 in the sanctuary. I believe it's going to be live streamed as well. We are verifying that, but we welcome you to this. It is often the case, not always, but often the case that our children are part of our joyful experience at Christmas, and we know that they will be sharing beautifully the Christmas story with us once again, and you are invited to come. You're invited to bring a gift for the Maker's Place for children who are connected to the Maker's Place in Trenton. There are many people who we can share with this season, and that is one group of them. Friends, there are also, thank you for all of you who gave during Giving Tuesday last week. I think I said that last week too, but thank you. That is such a gift to your church, to the people who call ourselves Princeton United Methodist Church. I want to encourage you to continue to help us finish the year strong, to continue to help us feed people, continue to be fed by your helping us to do that. It is of great help for us. We continue to invite pledges for our 2023 year budget. We are still working on what next year will look like financially, and the more we know about that ahead of time, the better we can plan, the better stewards we can be of all of our gifts together. So friends, it is always a beautiful thing to journey with you in this life of faith, life of following Christ, life of learning discipleship together. Remember that you are enough because God is enough. And also remember that we are created for joy, even when it doesn't quite feel like it. We are created for joy, and it is so easy to forget. So let us remind each other today, this week, and all the time that we are created for joy. Doesn't erase all the stuff that is hard, but we are still created for it nonetheless. Friends, blessings to you this week, and I will see you soon.